where's your goggles?
I think your mom borrowed them.
Yeah, you know, I've had fun before. This thing yet.
I'm gonna be honest right now, you guys. I don't know where this one's gonna go, but sometimes that gives us some of the best videos. It's been kind of a chaotic week. I don't even have the camera set up right now. I'm just holding it barehanded, but we're gonna talk about a few things in here. We're gonna run over to the main stall and show you some of the chaos over there. So our new scissor lift has been putting in some serious work. Last couple weeks been really busy. Timing belt job over here. I found that I could actually lift frame on vehicles with this if I use a combination of these hockey pucks and then I got some boards and stuff. This isn't actually bolted to the floor. That way I can move it in and out, you know, depending on what vehicle I need. But I love, absolutely love this little scissor lift over here. I got a whole mess to clean up here. A couple nice offerings here from Harbor Freight. One, I went and picked up this impact grade set of triple squares. We had a Volkswagen in here. I don't know if that's going to focus super well. We had a Volkswagen in here for some suspension work, control arms, shocks, or strut assemblies, I guess. And my triple squares suck, so I went and picked up these aaaand guys. I think this set was like $37. You can see the one I used right here. This is the one that I needed because there's a pinch bolt holding the shocks on because European silly design, Volkswagen, you know, that kind of stuff, which I really don't prefer to do. Then we got this guy here. This I've been waiting for a long time. This is I believe a 9-inch. This thing is massive. This is a clone from aaaand of the snap-on Talon grip pliers. You can see all the cross hatching there, and then it's actually a slip joint clearly for a needle nose. This thing it's massive, you guys. This is a giant needle nose. I've been waiting for these for a long time. My local Harbor Freight did not have any. I had a couple friends check other locations for me, and then finally I went in to get these actually, and I was like, I'm just gonna go see. I've been looking for these for like a year, and they finally showed up in my store. So awesome set of pliers. Sammy's just chilling in the office. Hey girl, we got a mess going on in the main stall. Lots of transmission fluid, which isn't the way this project was supposed to go, but she stays over here because she's white. We got to keep her clean. All right, so we got the Chevy 2500 service truck behind us, and this thing has ended up being a lot like opening up Pandora's box, which these kind of projects, you know, this thing's a 1998, and it's seen the salt, it's seen the snow. Overall, mechanically, the truck was in pretty good shape. You know, not a ton of leaks, only has 138,000 miles on it. The first problem we have, if you can see here, the max jacks will lift this thing up, but it's sketchy. I don't like it. It's at, you know, the weight capacity of this thing. It's 2,500. So we've done everything on this truck on the ground. You can see our his and her creepers there. Me and Ryan have been tackling this thing, and really there wasn't a whole lot on paper involved in this process. We were going to do all the fluids. We were going to do shocks, brakes on the front, which involved taking the wheel hubs off, which were pretty stuck, and then drum brakes, hardware, shoes in the rear, which ended up kind of being a challenge. Let me grab one of those drums. I legitimately can't lift this thing over my head. There it is right there. I got a pretty big foot. I mean, this thing is massive. So we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the issue that we're dealing with on this 98 right now. But all that being said, you know, fluid, shocks, brakes, all that stuff kind of adds up. And when you have an old truck like this, for instance, I went to flush the coolant. Didn't have the right coolant in it, and then somebody had RTV'd the thermostat housing together. I ended up putting a thermostat in it. These things just pile up a little bit. We got the rear brakes apart, and the wheel cylinders were leaking brake fluid. The brake lines were super rusty and crusty and falling apart, so it ended up needing wheel cylinders, a hardware kit, brake lines, just how these things go. This thing's old. So one of the things we did, and this is, everyone has an opinion on this, is we changed the transmission fluid. The fluid that came out was pretty dirty. It wasn't, I've seen worse, but literally all we did was change the filter, change the fluid. Didn't pressure flush it. We're not even going to go into that. There's lots of different opinions on that. Just drained it, put it back in, you know, everything was good there. It did drive okay before. Went and drove it around, put some miles on it because there's a phase 2 to this truck, and everything was happy. Suspension felt good, brakes, was running better with new plugs and wires, and then all of a sudden, I lost fourth gear. So that's just, you know, it was great. That's just, you know, how this goes. No codes, no nothing at all. 1-2 shift was fine. 2-3 shift was fine. No fourth gear. And it's like, okay, what's going on here? So you look up diagrams, check out, you know, how the valve body works, how the solenoids operate. Fourth gear uses the 2-3 solenoids to shift itself. So we did some electrical checking, all of that kind of stuff, because using both the solenoids is going to draw the most amperage. So it's like, do we have an electrical problem? Nope, we're all good there. That led us to this. Oh, we got a whole mess over here on the table. There are all the check balls. Here is the valve body, which we've pretty much got back together. I should have showed you this before we had our new gaskets and stuff on there, but I can show you the old gasket. So I'm gonna hold this here to not drip it over our new gasket there, but this wasn't necessarily our issue. If that's gonna focus, but see where that, I believe that's the second gear shift. See where that check ball sits and it's all wallered out in the hole. So it's like, you know, there could be a million things going on here. Is this gasket, you know, bleeding pressure? Was there a failure in the gasket? I really didn't see anything there. And this gets, you know, pretty hairy. You get into the weeds on this, but that doesn't, you know, inspire a whole lot of confidence. That thing is pretty mushroomed out on, again, I believe that's the second gear check ball. So again, I should have shown you this when we had this off. Yesterday was a little bit stressful. This gasket is here. There's a spacer plate in between that we just talked about. So it's actually different spacer plate. There's a gasket on the bottom side there. There's another gasket inside here. What we found is in one of these ports here is where the number 4 shift valve slides back and forth, and got some non-marring picks, and it was like physically stuck. And then it finally, shink, it went, and then we could move it, but it sounded really gravelly and crusty in there. There are bore kits for this. It's kind of a known issue on these 4L80s. We ended up taking it apart and finding just a ton of crud all throughout this valve body, particularly in that fourth gear shift valve. So we cleaned all that out and put everything back together, and now it is moving freely. So basically now what we have to do is try to get all our little check balls aligned, and it's gonna suck, but try to get this back up in the car, add fluid, and then see how everything goes from there. Again, not a super lot of direction to this video, and again, also on jack stands, so we're gonna have to go under the truck. I'm gonna see if I can get you best I can, us getting this back in here. Then we'll toss new fluid in it, let it get up to operating temp, and, you know, go take it for a drive. Right now, it's about all we can do. I am glad that we were able to find an issue with that shift valve inside the valve body, all gummed up, got a lot of crap out of that hole. It was physically kind of stuck. I don't know exactly how much fluid pressure that takes. You know, let's say it's 90 PSI. You would think that that would be enough to move that shift valve past all of that crap. And there's a lot of speculation and opinions and myths out there on changing transmission fluid. Should you do it? Should you not do it? I've seen guys say you shouldn't change the filter. I don't like pressurized flushes because that can knock a lot of stuff loose. You have to remember, even when you're doing a drain and fill like this, you are not getting all of the fluid out, which leads into another myth that, you know, sometimes that dirty fluid with all that crud and debris in there is what's holding everything together, letting stuff not slip. When you do a drain and fill like this, you are not getting all of the fluid out of the transmission. There's a bunch in the torque converter. It's, you know, you're just not doing it unless you do it a couple times. So in my opinion, this is a case of, you know, coincidence, and it's unfortunate. We're gonna do the best we can to get this thing up and running back in operational condition for the customer. Again, this video today, not a ton of organization. I just wanted to take you along, show you what's been going on inside the shop.
We gotta do the editing so like you never see my face in any of these. It should be like my stick.
Where's your goggles?
I think your mom borrowed them.
Place your bets, he says. How many times are we gonna drop the pan? 2 we're at. I'm riding with 2. We're gonna stay at 2. Can put those check balls in.
Well, depending on how many balls I put in, we could be here all day.
There's 8.
There's 8. So
we got our assembly goop. Hopefully hold them in place while we try to, you know, finagle this thing back in there. Yeah, this will be good.
Once they're all in, we're gonna need to swiftly get that up in there.
The pan.
Yeah, so it's a lot of getting everything prepped nice so that all that flows good.
So this is the part where we, try to get the check balls in there without them falling out. Try to get you guys set up so you can kind of see what's going on, but it's going to be a little bit of a challenge.
You put compressed air into cylinder 4 clutch pack channel, and you make sure it doesn't bleed down too much.
Right. And my thought is we had fourth before.
Not wrong.
I mean, if it does, then we're at the same.
Back apart.
Right. Anyway.
Why do mechanics have blue balls?
Because you hope they stay in place. This is the part where we put the check balls in with the assembly glue and hope that they stay where they're supposed to be.
This is where you cross your fingers, cross your toes, and look the other way.
So far, so good. I'm sitting down here, babysitting the check balls, make sure they don't fall out. We're getting ready to put that valve body on, and I found, where are you? Right there. Look, I found someone's socket. Get that out of there. Come on, out you go. You're mine now. Ooh, gravel in my face. What size is it? It says right there. Is that a 16?
Joke's on you, it's yours.
9/16. So that's a 14. That's mine now. Yeah, you know, I've had fun before. This ain't it.
Supposed to do this shit when it's on the ground, boys and girls.
Give me on the stand.
Transmission upside down.
And it never moved again.
Never moved again. I'm just gonna slap the rest of these in there. Tight is tight, but tight does not mean clamped.
No. And tight till loosen means bad.
I need clamped.
It's tight, but it's not clamped because the tight is all the dirt.
I was trying to fix something that was already crossed thread. He's just like, tighten it more. I'm like, it was to get it undone.
Tighten it more.
We has to deal with all of this wiring bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
What?
yes. Oh, God. Good thing we're not that far in. Yeah, I've done that before.
You're not coming all the way out, are you?
I'm coming loose. Hold that. Let's see if that was enough. Life.
The moment of truth. Coming soon. Gotta cross your fingers. I really hope that we're out of the woods. Pan is back on, valve buddy's back on. None of the check balls fell out of the transmission, so we're gonna fill it with fluid, warm it up, check it. We'll take you for a drive. Somebody was making a noise. Hear that whiny noise? We have first gear and second gear. And third gear. But that's not the one we're worried about. Alright, so we're at like mile 6. We have fourth gear again, thank God. Like this has been such a nerve-wracking thing. And the deal was, like I said, that 3/4 shift valve had like audibly had some junk in there. We could hear it, we could see it, we cleaned everything out, put it all back together, and I'd say for the most part overall it went pretty smoothly. It wasn't, wasn't fun by any means, but it could have been a lot worse. And we're currently going 55 miles an hour at 1700 RPM. We've had like 8 successful fourth gear shifts, so I think we're good. I like it. Okay, so I feel really good about the 98. We went and drove it, shifts beautifully, fourth gear is fixed, and this is, these are just some of the things that you're going to deal with when you work on older cars. And Ryan and I were driving back, and I thought about what this older gentleman, customer, he's been here once or twice. He came in, it was the first time he'd been in the shop, and he was like, I really like your logo. And I'm like, oh yeah. And he's like, shift, wrench, repeat. That's pretty catchy. I'm like, thanks, man. And then he kind of stops and he goes, wait a minute. Repeat. Does that mean I got to come back? And I was like, guess that might have been an oversight. I never really thought of it that way. But then me and Ryan are driving. The last couple days have just been this headache of, being stressed out about this truck. We've done all this stuff to it and, changed the fluid, and then that valve got stuck, and it's just been an unfortunate chain of events. And he's like, well, we got it. It's shifting again. And I was like, wait a minute. We shifted, we wrenched, and then we repeated, and now it's shifting again. So I was like, you know what? I really hope we don't live the next few projects through the process of the name that's on the side of the building that I picked for my business. But I thought that was kind of funny, because in this instance, we literally did shift, wrench, and repeat, to get this thing operational again. So, that's what I had for you guys today. Again, wasn't super organized video. Just wanted to show you the struggle bus that we've been riding, for the last couple days. Feel really good about it. It's Friday. Feels great to be able to kind of rest and wrap up on a Friday and know that we successfully got this thing repaired. If you guys enjoyed today's video, drop me a comment down below. Like and subscribe if you have not already. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.